Hi, this is Dr. Jason O'Connor from O'Connor Chiropractic, and today we'll be talking about boosting our immune system. I'm getting asked a lot about this, obviously, this time of year. People's immune system are dropping, and I want to bust a myth as well. We don't catch a cold. I hear this all the time. There's a lot of germs, viruses going around at the moment. There's a lot about I'm catching this, that, and the other. I caught off this person. It's just not true. So I'm going to talk why that isn't true, and I'm going to give you a few tips. So I'm going to talk about the effects stress has, the effects the adjustments have on your immune system, the effects exercise has, hydration, what supplements, and also sleep patterns as well, how that has a big impact on it. But yeah, as I said, a lot of people believe that they catch a cold or they come in contact with it, and that's why they get ill. And it isn't true. There's bacteria and viruses, billions of them everywhere, all the time. You can't get away from them. And it's how you're more resistant. So I always say, a good analogy is, the rubbish tip attracts the rats. So I'm not calling you a rubbish tip, but yeah, if your body is in a state of fatigue, poor nutrition, high level of stress, the body's resistance starts to drop gradually. So that resistance is going lower and lower and lower. And then this allows the invasion of bacteria and viruses to overcome our system. So you'll be in contact with people with colds all the time, or the flu, or even COVID, and you don't contract it. But then there comes a time when you do. So that could be when you don't had your sleep. You might have drunk too much. There's a lot of stress going on, and your body's lowered, and then you contract it. So how do we make ourselves more resistant? As I say, you're not going to be able to avoid these viruses. You can't run away from them, hide from them. But so how do you make your body more resistant so you can better fight it off? And that's always the best way to be the most resistant, your vitality to be high. So stress, you think, well, how stress affecting the immune system? So when our bodies are stressed, what do we release? Release something called cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone that drives things like adrenaline, affects insulin levels, noradrenaline. So there's all these chemical reactions in your body. But the key thing you need to know is that is there to protect you. So if your body feels threatened, it's going to always do that to help you fight or run away. However, most of the time it's not needed, and it's the sustained stress that then uses all these hormones, takes energy away from the immune system, and then makes you more susceptible. So how do we get rid of stress? That's $1 million question, but it's being aware that it is responsible for you getting sick. I think sometimes it's like, this isn't worth getting stressed over. Whatever it is, whether it's work colleagues, at home, the car, the traffic, you're thinking, is this worth me getting stressed enough to lower my immune system to allow myself to get sick? And then if I'm sick, how will this affect my life, and how much more stress that'll create? So I always think having that perspective of is it worth my health? So as I say, we'll probably do more information on stress and control that, but it's just understanding that has a big impact on why you will be getting ill, why you will continue getting coughs, colds, why your resistance is being dropped. So another big thing is with your adjustments, thinking, how is getting adjusted, how that benefit my immune system. So you got to remember your brain, your spinal cord, the nerves, they're all protected by the spine. If the spine is twisted out of alignment, what's that going to do in terms of impacting that connection between your brain, your organs? So for instance, your neck, a large amount of those nerves, they're sending messages to all the glands. The glands are like the first line of defense. When there's a virus or a bacteria comes to the body, what do the nervous system detects that? They swell up, you produce more white blood cells, and that kind of fights off. So it's a neurological response that then starts the immune response. So the healthier and better function, the clearer from interference your nervous system is, the healthier and better your immune system is going to react. So yeah, getting checked, getting adjusted. And there's some amazing studies actually how getting adjusted shifts you from that sympathetic dominance, that fight or flight dominance, that stress state, into parasympathetic. And then what happens is your body starts to increase the production of white blood cells, T cells. And they've proven this when they've taken blood tests pre and post adjustment, and they've shown that these levels of immune response stay high for long periods afterwards, not just for a few seconds, minutes. We're talking about days afterwards, they'll stay increased. So that's the importance of continuing to get checked and adjusted to boost and improve your immune response. Now, the other things I want to cover is exercise. Now, you can either do too much or too little. So again, if you're not doing enough exercise, everything's not circulating around your system, you affect like hormone levels, cortisol levels as well, the endorphins that you know about, these chemicals that release when you're exercising, it makes you feel better. It's also important to create a healthy immune response. So I don't want to go too far into that, but getting regular exercise is a key to having a healthy immune system. But at the same side, if you're over-exercising, so if you're overdoing it, and if you're pushing yourself, especially these long type of endurance events, marathons and ultra marathons and 100+ mile bike rides, what they've shown is that significantly decreases your immune response, because you're kind of drawing energy away from those other systems of your body. Your immune system is often one that, because it uses a lot of energy, if you're using a lot of energy elsewhere, you're going to pull away from that, so that's going to decrease your resistance. So again, it's important not to overdo it, and this is when sleep's important. So if you're exercising a lot, you're working a lot, and then you're not getting your sleep, it's that going into a deep, good quality of sleep. Again, that's when your body does all its healing and repairing. If it's not getting that recovery, you start to increase cortisol, other types of hormones released as well, and this has a negative impact on the body's ability to control and regulate its immune system. So yes, sleep is absolutely vital. And you've probably, again, I'm sure a lot of you will relate to this, is you might have met up with some friends. I know I'm meeting with some rugby friends soon, and you start reminiscing, you start drinking, and or school friends, and you overdo it. And we've all been there, and we've had too many drinks, we've stayed up really late as well, because you're talking into the night, and then you've got to get up early. Like with me, you've got young kids or whatever, so you've still got to get up early, and so the next day, yes, you're hungover, you're dehydrated, you've not got enough sleep. That's the time that you'll catch that cold. It's not that the virus and bacteria weren't there before, but that's when your resistance was low. So it says, so getting good quality deep sleep is important. Broken sleep, again, you could spend a long time in bed, but if it's light broken sleep, you're not getting that full rest. So again, good quality sleep is absolutely crucial to the immune system. Now, I said about water. Water is absolutely, all the chemicals in your body, chemical reactions in your body require water. So keep them well hydrated. I've got one of these big 2 litre bottles, and they're great because you know exactly how much you're drinking. So you often see me with this in the clinic, and I'll fill up in the morning, and I'll make sure I get through that, minimum through the day, probably a lot more, because I'm always talking, as you can see. So again, if you're exercising as well, you need to increase that hydration. And I think this time of year, it's again comes back to the drinking, the sleep, everything. It's all worse, because when it's colder, you don't feel like drinking lots of water. I understand that. You want your warm drinks. So what do we go for? Tea, coffee, everything with caffeine in, dehydrates you. More parties going on, drinking more alcohol, more sugary foods. So again, increase sugar, increase insulin, decrease immune response. So it's like, it's not, people call it the flu season this time of year. It's nothing to do with there's more viruses going around. It's the fact that we're so much more less resistant because our lifestyles change so much. So like you say, we party more, we have less sleep, we eat richer sugary foods, we have more alcohol, more stress. We're all, we're running out of turkeys, running out of this Brussels sprouts. So we're going into this mass frenzy of we've got to get organised, we've got to do everything. We're putting pressure on ourselves, all these presents and all these, trying to get presents for everyone and rush around, trying to fit all the normal things in, and on top of that. And I think then what breaks, immune system drops, people get sick. So it's just realising that it's not bad luck, it's not you just come in contact with someone or something like that, you're actually working quite hard to get sick. So again, things you want to do to counteract it: getting enough sleep, getting your water, getting your adjustments, not exercising but not overdoing it. Another, people say, well, what supplements can I take? So again, this time of year, what do we have? A lot less sunlight. So how will that impact your immune system? Decreases vitamin D. So vitamin D, one of the really important factors in having a strong immune system. So we recommend, let's grab these. We do the sprays here with high levels of vitamin D with K2 in, which is important as well. And you spray that underneath your tongue so it absorbs directly into your blood system. So again, that'll give your immune system a response. Omega-3, could talk about. So another supplement we really recommend is Omega-3. So Omega-3 is absolutely essential for the health of the cells, especially the cell membrane. The cell membrane is where these bacteria and viruses get through. So this is why we found Omega-3 to be really helpful in just helping the cell be more resistant. And like I say, we're made up of trillions of cells. So Omega-3 has been proven to be quite effective at boosting the immune system. So if you need more information, ask in the clinic. One more that we also recommend is probiotics. So probiotics is good bacteria. So we always think about bacteria as being bad. With our gut, which makes about 70% of our immune system, is full of symbiotic bacteria. So that means that they benefit from being in us, and we benefit from them being in us as well. So it kind of creates that resistance to bacteria and viruses. Now the problem is, when you get a cold, you go to doctors or take these antibiotics, what does it do? Kills all bacteria. So it kills the bad bacteria, but it kills all the good bacteria. And you're more likely to get reinfected after antibiotics. One way you can combat that is to really boost your system with these these probiotics. Get that good bacteria growing healthy in your gut again. So those are the supplements I recommend. So just to summarise, remember right from the beginning, we talked about getting your stress levels down, getting your spine checked and adjusted. Exercising but not too much, get enough water, the supplements, sleep as well, which is essential for recovery. If you're doing all those, it's really it's certainly going to boost your immune system. You're much more less likely to catch the cold. Hopefully we've kind of debunked that myth, and just as they get your body healthy, resistant. As much as you can. And the thing is, it doesn't just protect you against cold, viruses, but it protects you about all other diseases as well. So we're talking the benefits against heart disease, cancer, diabetes. We go on and on. Come and get yourself checked. Get your nervous system checked. Just such an integral part of your body function while being healthy. Certainly people neglect this. Stress levels are probably higher than ever. If some of these things that you're experiencing, with fatigue and poor immunity, poor energy levels, all these type of things, they're running familiar. Give me a call, drop us a message. We're here to help, and let's get your body function its optimum and getting more resistant. Okay, you take care.
Hello everyone. With this season changing, I thought I'd put together a quick video about the impact of exercise on our immune system. So I do want to caveat this video with the fact that the immune system is extraordinarily complex, and its function is impacted by a wide variety of things, and I'm specifically talking about how exercise can impact it, and that clearly in isolation this may not be enough to overcome some of the other factors at play. But having said that, there has been a lot of research into this field since the 1990s, initially focusing on athletes and then later extending to the general population. The main takeaways from this research are that the immune system is very responsive to exercise, but that the intensity and duration of the exercise needs to be controlled in order for this response to be positive. So research tells us that an acute bout of exercise of moderate to vigorous intensity, which is obviously individual to your personal level of fitness, for less than 60 minutes is an important immune system adjuvant or immune booster. And it goes on to say that with near daily exercise, these acute changes operate through a summation effect to enhance our body's immune defense activity. So, to cut a long story short, 3 to 4 pieces of fairly easy exercise per week will have a really positive impact on our immune health. In contrast, high exercise training workloads are linked with negative immune response and therefore increased illness risks. For example, when looking at athletes, illness risk was seen to increase when an athlete competes or goes through a cycle of unusually heavy exertion in their training phase. So, for example, in a large group of over 2,300 endurance runners, nearly 13% reported illness during the week after the LA marathon race, compared with only 2.2% of a control group of runners. So what can we take away from this? It's that training too hard can reduce our immune health. So we should really moderate the exercise that we do and limit the amount of the really hard stuff that we do on a weekly basis. So for example, a mix of yoga, running and HIIT classes in 1 week is a great way to do that, rather than just purely doing the really intense stuff. The research also tells us that athletes were impacted by other stresses to the immune system, which were identified as high levels of stress and anxiety, international travel, especially when it's across different time zones, lack of sleep, and a low energy intake, so a low-calorie diet. So this tells us that we need to look after these areas of our lives too. So managing stress and anxiety, which is a whole other topic, but that will certainly help with your immune health, and to manage our sleep and diet. These two should be within our power to control, or at least improve on a little bit versus what we're doing now. So to sum up, as we enter winter and see the usual bump in coughs, colds and other illnesses that are going on at the moment, it might be wise to add in some moderate exercise to your weekly routine. And on top of this, if we are able to manage our stress levels as well as our sleep and nutrition, then we should be in a really good place. So I hope that helps and get after it.